So after the surprising, well, not really surprising, but clogging the injector on the way of 2 days kind of adventure, green lane in Kent area with friends, I had to come back. I actually did the injector there, reverse cleaned it very quickly in a very dirty way, and it worked brilliantly so far. It took me home about 3 hours driving, and then today, whole day. This is pretty much nearly the end of the day. And I was tempted to swap the bikes yesterday when I arrived home, take the T7, leave this home, but I was so curious how this bike performs off-road. I was like, nah, I'll give it a shout, I'll give it a go. I'm not even going to clean the injector yet before it plays up again. But since then, just didn't play it. And it's been spotless. Honestly, this bike I am in love now. I really like it. I explain what I mean. Obviously, I already done my stuff. I already explained enough to blah. Actually, let me turn it off before change the battery. Last night I put my navigation here. I didn't have it. I just had my phone and the clocks. I put the clocks on the bus quickly with a plate and 2 zip ties, but it works perfect. Oh, hello, little guy. Where are you going? Don't stay on the bike because you're gonna go for a ride. Trust me, you're better off on the tree. There you go. Anyways, I put my navigation on and tubes because I am paranoid. When I'm going somewhere, I need to be prepared, and then you can't be prepared for everything. But let's say, for example, I'm thinking that if I have the front tube, I'm not gonna get a puncture. If I get the rear tube, I'm gonna get a puncture. So I got both tubes, I'm not getting a puncture. However, I didn't lower the pressure enough for this stuff. I'm okay to sacrifice a little bit of grip in order to be safe and not actually changing these tubes. I have the tubes, I have all the stuff I need to change them. I got all my tools with me to assemble the whole bike. I got the rest of the tools here, my jacket, rain and everything. But doesn't mean I want to change those tubes in the middle of, obviously this is supposed to be testing the bike. This broke already. Good job I had the pliers. I could bend it and I use this a little bit to actually still be able to use the brake lever. Now being short, there you have, it's a bit in the wrong position tiny bit, but it still works. It works correctly. It was fine. That's my fault because I'll be honest, I was showing some cracks already. You can see that is not, that was before. Plus everyone knows these brake pedals, they shit and you change them. This thing survived 12 years. It didn't survive me the last 2 hours, so it's my fault entirely. The fuel tanks works. It was me again rushing on my own stuff. I didn't enjoy the hose in the fuel pump housing the way it's supposed to be done, which is actually said in the instructions, which obviously, why should I read them? Now it was perfect. The fuel tanks are closed. This is nearly full, both of them. I'm only using the rear tank for now. I don't need all this fuel because I'm pretty close to my house. But I really wanted to have the bike full of fuel, all the tools I need, full naphtha. This is pretty heavy one because the light I'm using, this is heavy as. It transforms the night into a day, but it is heavy. You pay the price for that. Tubes and obviously tools and spares and a jacket. Well, jacket doesn't weigh much, but everything adds on. And bike full of fuel. I think they take 12 or 13 liters on the back, and I think 10 liters on the front between the two tanks. Nearly full. The bike is leaning on the tree, that's why it doesn't show full. And I specifically wanted to have full weight to see how it performs on this terrain. And this terrain is, I know on the camera, on the phone, it looks fuck all. But it's not. This is quite steep, and it has this, rocks, loose rocks, branches. This is steep. Oh, fuck's sake. It's no way to really show it. This goes up to my knee, pretty much. And it's steep going up there. I specifically wanted to do this terrain because, as you can see, or probably not, it's all of this kind of muddy shit. This is slimy. This is This, you can't trust this stuff. It's not the worst one, but it's not good either. Mixed with, obviously, water, mixed with loose rocks and slimy rocks. This is not the greatest of the terrains. It's not the worst we've seen, but also you have to keep track inside the roots, and then able to steer the bike exactly where you want it. Avoid some of the rocks and use some of them. I mean, some people go from there. I mean, you probably could, but it's just so slimy. You can see the tires were slipping there. You can't really jump it over there. I prefer going in the middle and then use that as a ramp and then just take off from there. It's very easy actually. Now my T7 eats this terrain, absolutely eats it. I wanted to see how a much more lightweight motorcycle would do at the 690. I'm really curious to see how this platform performs, and I have to say I'm surprised, because it tracks inside the roots very easily with just a little change of my weight on the pegs. And yeah, no, so the front end on the 690 701 is a bit twitchy on the road. This was my first impression. However, spent a day on the motorway, pretty much on the B roads, fast roads, and it kind of, the bike kind of synced with me, or I synced with the bike, and it's not twitchy anymore. I don't know why. I've done nothing, but it's stable now. Yeah, it wobbles because I've got the motocross tires on my face, which is madness, but I know. I bought it this way, I left them on, fuck it, leave them. At 65, 70, 75 motocross tires, yeah, on the motorway, it's not fun. It's not a great deal. But it's again, it's fairly stable. I mean, sometimes you got a movement depending if you hit something between the lines on a tarmac, and it moves. But it's nothing tragic. It doesn't try to kill you at all. Obviously, T7 is way more stable, blah blah. But T7 in comparison is a road bike that we're trying to make it able to do off-road. Of course it does the off-road. Just forget Portales and all that stuff. We're talking motors, not more people. I mean, I do races and all that stuff. By no means I'm the best rider in the world. There's more people in the world better than me than worse than me. But you know, this stuff I can eat it with the T7. However, the T7, if you do a mistake, it drags you towards that mistake. It's a heavy bike, and the steering is, how can I say it? It's almost like a train. You point it that way, and if everything goes good, it goes that way. But if she, for some reason, points somewhere else, it is difficult to change her mind. So this thing is different. This is more of a dirt bike front end. Still very stable. I find it more stable than my 350. I guess from the weight and the engine inertia. What I was gonna say about the pegs, you see, this is on the bottom. This bike is pretty much a dirt bike. You got a narrow swing arm. You got the pegs are very narrow, pretty much like on my 350 or almost. This is a big advantage. The bike being narrow on the bottom, huge advantage. First of all, I can still steer it with my legs, very good, almost as quick as the 350. It's not gonna be as 350, but you know, I'm not saying close, like almost there, but very close. Again, I'm comparing this to the three bikes I have, so the T7 and the 350, obviously completely different worlds, but this stays in between. However, I think it gets closer to the 350 because, again, being so narrow, when I've done some routes because it's been raining, putting rain down, and some of the routes you don't see how deep they are. And on the T7s, I remember sometimes I had issues scraping with the pegs on the edge of the roots. I mean, you know, deep roots, and you're scraping there. Sometimes it catches you and you have to lift your foot, so you stay on the other foot, which again, it moves the bike around, blah blah. But this one, that is a huge advantage. What else? The fuel in the tanks, I don't feel any downsides. It is obviously not as narrow. It's quite wide on the front. I don't mind it. I don't mind it at all. I think my T7 is slightly narrower there, but it's different construction. But this is, yeah, no, I don't mind it at all. It's fine. The weight is still good. You can pop the front wheel easily. up to third, even fourth gear, just with the gas. You know, when you're jumping off the paddles or you have to jump some rocks or something, just leave the front wheel. No problems. Standing wheels just pop up, you know, to cross the water or something. Yeah, it's still okay. And remember, this is I think the first or second gen of these motors. I think the newer ones, they have more power. However, this is quite explosive in mid-range, about 3, 4, 5,000 RPMs, kind of like in the middle. Not aggressive, but the tractor-like torque is always there available. This injector didn't play up at all with me, and I absolutely love it. It's very responsive. It doesn't want to choke out. It doesn't want to shut off. It works with you. I like it. If I'm gonna hate it, Lee, the guy who teaches me, he said he doesn't like them because it's neither a dirt bike, neither an adventure bike, which he's right. I think this bike doesn't fall in any of those categories. This bike has a category on, that's how you say it, maybe, on its own. It's, I don't know. I like it. I really like it. This seat, I got the Touratech seat. The bike came with it. It's quite expensive, and I hate it at the beginning. It's kind of square here. It's got this fucking thing here, and it's tool here, and it's narrower here. It's fairly solid. It's not very soft. And I was like, what the fuck? What is this piece of shit? Actually, I've done 5 hours yesterday, and I had to stretch my leg, my right leg, only after 4.5 hours. And that was very surprising. On my T7 I can stay half an hour top. T7 is wider on the top, and I'm getting older, so I start having some pain in my hips because I don't move enough. But that bike actually is more tiny than this as a sitting position, and this is very weird. I was not expecting this. I was expecting this to be much worse, and I'm okay with this. The only thing which it is not as comfortable is obviously the wind protection, because this time this screen is quite low. This is, I can see from this perspective, the bike is leaning down. It's just above the light. You know, I got the navigation. I already explained this. It's kind of more an adventure, exploring, more kind of off-road orientated than fast and road wind protection. So up to 60, 65. I am comfortable. 70 starts to be, yeah, you don't want to be there. I'm normally at 65, which is fine. The bike can do much more, but there you go. This 7, again, just because of the screen in the front, I can stay up to 80, 85 comfortable. But again, small changes. This bike compensates for with that again. And I was on these fucking tires. These are motocross tires. Usually, yeah, we run enduro tires. Yeah, I consumed quite a lot of bit of them. They were brand new yesterday, not anymore. After all of those miles, I think I've done 240 miles off road on the road. Everything at 65, 70, and it was fine. This terrain, yeah, they're okay. They're a bit sketchy on the rocks, on slippery rocks, but obviously the rest, when they can grip, they do grip, so they do compensate. Obviously, I got plenty of pressure inside, but they compensate with this, knobs. No, yeah, it's good. I don't know what else to say. Brakes are fantastic on this thing. I wasn't expecting this. They're really good. It carries the weight, even fully loaded, very good. Yesterday this was fully loaded. The panniers here had a tent, and I even had a portable fire pit and logs, and I purposely overloaded the bike to have more weight than I would usually have, just to simulate like a kind of longer expedition. And yeah, it was absolutely brilliant. I am surprised. And I think I even like this fuel tanks. I know it's a bit shit here. This is sticking out, and I don't like it. I don't know why they made it this way, but there must be a reason. God knows why. If this ended up here, or maybe flat, maybe, I don't know. This just, I don't like it. Maybe it serves as a protection. God knows. But besides being ugly, is actually resting the bike on that side. It's fine. I don't mind them at all. You know, yes, I have the rest of the kit, because this is all like a rally raid rally kit for with all the naphtha and everything, but I removed it. I prefer it this way, my usual. No, I really like it. Don't know what else to say. It's performing very good. It's never gonna be a dirt bike. If you want to compare it or do a comparison between the T7 and maybe a 350 or 450, I would almost say that this is a bike that stays in between, but that's not true. I think this is closer to be. Oh, number plate is. I probably have to clean it a little bit before I go back on the road. I think this is closer to dirt bike. I would call this a heavy, big dirt bike than adventure bike, but it will do adventure just fine. I found out that yesterday. You know, 5 hours on the road, purely on the road, and I was alright, honestly. I couldn't do it on a 350 or on a 450. So this is very road capable dirt bike, big heavy dirt bike. That's it. That's how I can compare it to it. I couldn't compare it to a T7. It's miles ahead of a T7 in this terrain, you know. And I have to be honest. I think that this is the first time I'm doing relaying on my own. And in all honesty, I kind of chicken out when I'm thinking to take a T7 on green lanes on my own, because although, yeah, I'll race that T7, we've done gnarly stuff like way worse than this, but you have the whole organization, you're not on your own, something happens, you go to ambulance, well, it did happen. On my own, no, I just don't feel comfortable to see. I don't know where that path leads. I don't know if I can get out of this. With this bike, I'm not worried too much about it. I mean, if you say, oh, let's go somewhere there, yeah, no problems. T7, yeah, no problems, but I have to be with someone. On my own, I would not venture over there on a T7. With this, absolutely yes. And again, I know the camera doesn't show, but it could be quite gnarly if you want to. Again, it won't be as easy as on a 350, but I'm pretty sure it's more than possible. And I wouldn't be worried to actually take it for my own and risk it. Well, risk it. Actually, this is the problem. It's not really risking it. It's not that heavy. It's much more nimble. Yeah. Fuck me. What's gonna happen with the T7 now? All this money spent. And oh gee, look at this. A tree hugging another tree. That's pretty cool. But that's like one branch, look at this. This goes around and there's actually the one on the top. It locks it completely. Yeah, how cool. Anyway, what's gonna happen with T7 though? Well, I think I'm gonna finish this one up nicely and I'm gonna sell it to someone, unless my missus wants to ride it, but I think she's sold on the Honda CRF 300. But I think I'm gonna sell this one with the full kit for someone, and I may get the new one and build that kind of race ready or adventure ready instead of the 7. But I need the honeymoon time to pass and then I think about it again. However, for now that feeling is fairly strong. I've done enough to feel very comfortable with and to very comfortable with that decision. Reliability, I don't know. So far all the issues were my fault. I knew about the injector, I've done nothing about it, and so far even with that it's still going strong. Not a single issue after I fixed it yesterday. So don't know. I believe they are so bloody good to do everything that some of the mechanical perks that most of them you can fix before they break, is actually worth taking the risk and taking more care of these bikes than on the jobs. But again, that's obviously it's just my opinion. You know, different people ride different ways. They expect different stuff from the motorcycles. For me, yeah, this is pretty much everything I would expect from it. So happy with it. Anyway, see you soon.